Death is imminent. This should not come as a shock to anyone. It's as natural as birth and pooping your pants. It will happen. Now, I made a video where I talked about death and how I personally view it. In that video, I mentioned a song called My Way, which to me is the perfect ballad to life. And today's character is the perfect embodiment of life, death, and misfortune. Richard, from the Hotline Miami series, is quite the enigma. No one is truly sure of who he is or what he is. Let's start with the beginning. In the first game, he's accompanied by two other entities. One that represents passivity and deception of oneself, and another one that represents rage and bloodlust. Among them, Richard stands as the middle ground. Many people have their interpretations of what he represents, but right now, what matters is that he tells Jacket, the main character, that they know each other. As the game progresses, we see that Richard is trying to get Jacket to find the truth. That being that he is in a coma and he's just reliving the weeks before the hit on him. This has led to some to see that Richard represents the truth. That is a very accurate assumption, for the first game at least. In the second game, Richard appears as a ghostly presence to the other characters, warning them about their gruesome demises, which they ignore or can't decipher since it's too cryptic, and this leads them to dying in horrible, violent ways. His views seem to be nihilistic, since he repeats that nothing seems to matter, and in the end, everything will be wiped away once you die. This could be due to him being aware that he is in a video game, since he frequently makes meta commentary about how the choices that the characters do will all lead to the same end, and about how the player is a violent person for indulging and enjoying the violence that the game provides. So, add him to the list, I guess. One example is him questioning a character in the game that plays a violent killer in a movie. He defends himself, saying that it's just a movie, and Richard agrees to disagree. However, Richard is not malevolent, due to him not only warning the characters about their deaths, meaning that he's actively trying to prevent them from dying, but also how he comforts Richter before he dies, saying that living this world isn't as scary as it seems. In a secret scene, if you start a new game, he reunites all the main characters, and one by one, they all die the same way they died in the game. Richard either comments on their views or keeps telling them that they will all land in the same place. But before he kills Beard, Jacket's best friend, he pauses and apologizes, wishing that they had met under different circumstances. Biker also seems to have met Richard, and unlike most characters, he heeds Richard's warning and remains alive because of it. There are some parallels between Richard and the three roosters from Norse mythology. Golinkambi, whose crowning foretells Ragnarok, Foljar, who heralds the coming of Ragnarok, and a third unnamed rooster down in Hell. These connections could be intentional, since the studio that made Hotline Miami are Swedish. Another being Richard loosely resembles is the Mothman, seeing as how both of them bring misfortune wherever they go. But they don't cause said misfortune, their presence alone brings it. Richard is a bad omen, a sign that disaster is near. However, he's not a malevolent being. He's there to warn others about their untimely demise. He represents the truth and the futility of life, affirming that nothing matters and that everything will be wiped away with time. Yet, he tries to prevent said outcome with his warnings, and does believe in good thanks to Beard, the paragon of the Hotline series. Violence only brings more violence. So let me ask you, do you enjoy hurting other people? Man, that is so deep and profound for a character that is basically a penis metaphor.